Ladies and gentlemen, today we are doing an X-Pop tier list, and none other than the Outlast trials. From the specialists to the grunts to the prime assets themselves, we will be ranking them. To give you guys an idea, D will be weak and easy to avoid. C, basic and just annoying. B, threat, need to move. A, dangerous and solid threat. And S, absolute trial-ending nightmare. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. First one is the imposter. Not to confuse it with invasion, but just a regular imposter. I'm gonna put it at basic and just annoying. Now, in the trial, when you do see an imposter, usually you'll hear it come from an elevator with no noise, and you can see it trying to give you medicine or an antidote. It's very easy to spot and to avoid in it of itself. To me, it doesn't pose too much of a threat, which is why we're putting it into C. The regular grunt with no weapon, we are going to place it into weak and easy to avoid. These grunts do not move at all. They are stationary. And really, unless you get too close to them is the only time that they will hit you. You can easily throw a bottle or brick at it if you want it to return to the elevator. Now, there has been some instances for me when I've been chased by another X-Pop and I have 1 HP left, and this grunt will kill me. But that's because I wasn't paying attention. I think D, it's its rightful place. The Screamer. I am going to put it into C. Its special attack, right, is if you make too much noise, or move rather than attack, it will send shock waves of audio onto your screen. You won't be able to run, use any objects if you're too close. Now, if you're at a good distance, you're still good. Still makes a very loud noise. If you do get in its path when it's returning, not to the elevator, but somewhere else in the map, right, it will cause harm. And it actually does have an execution, guys. Believe me or not, it does. Try it for yourself. But other than that, it doesn't really pose a huge threat. So, I think for that reason, we're going to go ahead and place it into C. Moving on to the standard grunt with the machete. I am, guys, and some of you may not agree, place into tier B. As you know, the grunt with the machete has a crazy range. Sometimes when you think you're outside of its perimeter of attacking you, it still gets you. I think I've been in that situation a lot of times where it still attacks me. They're placed throughout the map. They are annoying, and they will chase you down if you're in its sights. So I think B, it's the rightful place for it. Pouncer. I feel like this can either go into C or B. We're going to go into C. Pouncers will hide in just about anything that it can go ahead and do so. Underneath a desk, in a locker, in a barrel, and other places as well. Now, if you do have a bottle and or brick, and you have the prescription unlock, as you guys know, you can just right click and the pouncer will get right off of you, and you'll go ahead and use that throwable item. And if you don't, you have to left click like no other. If you get in its way while it's running to another hiding spot, or the same hiding spot, it will attack you. I think tier C. is the right place for it. Now, the pitcher. I feel like this could go tier A or tier B, either way. I think, guys, this is tricky. I'm going to put tier A. For the pitcher, it is a Molotov maniac. It will throw it across the map as soon as it hears any noise, has very good vision in the dark. Get too close and it will spray you with the fire. Pitcher is very, very annoying, persistent, and it does a lot of damage because of that long range and also its excellent hearing. It makes it a solid threat. So I think tier A is a rightful place for it, guys. A scapegoat. We are going to put in C. Now, hear me out. This was a difference maker between putting it into tier D versus, or putting it into tier C versus D. As a scapegoat, once you electrocute him, he will charge at you. If you do not have a brick or bottle, or you go outside of its parameter, it will cause damage at you. For that reason, I will put it there. Doesn't really have any other specialty other than when it's on its last light bulb, you electrocute him, he will explode. So if you're too close to him, he will cause damage. So I think tier C is a rightful place for this gentleman. Moving on to the Night Hunter. I'm gonna go B. Now for this specialist, he can see you in the dark anywhere, so you are not safe. If you're in the dark, he will see you. Now his weakness is if you go into the light, he'll briefly chase you, but then he'll return back to the shadows where he belongs. And that is his special ability. He wields a machete and does quite a bit of damage. So tier B, you definitely have to move out of the way. He will chase you down. I think that's the right place for it. So, moving on to the pusher. We are going to go B. Unless you are jumping from through a window or over a hurdle, that's the only time a pusher will actually hit you with its spray rod. You do have to move out of the way. He will cause you to lose all of your sanity. And other than that, he'll return right back to the elevator as soon as he sprays someone in your party, or it could be you. The effect of losing all of your sanity, right, leads us to the Skinner Man. And I think the place to go ahead and put him is an S, an absolute trial-ending nightmare. When you lose your sanity and when you're trying to run, the tentacles will be placed throughout the map. Now, if you don't have the stamina booster, if you don't have the antidote itself, or an adrenaline shot, you will absolutely take damage, and if not, die. I think the Skinner Man deserves his place. You have to be running, and it is crazy, right? Obviously, the screen effect that it causes. And I think S is the rightful place for it, so we're gonna go ahead and put him there. Moving on to the big grunts with no weapon. We are going to put them in B. Now, there's a few different big grunts without the weapon. Once you get used to them, right, you get used to the range of how they attack. They cause a lot of damage. Their presence could be terrifying. And they're huge. I think B is the rightful place for it. Most of the time, on several trials, you'll encounter 2 of them, if not 1, on a few trials. But yeah, I think B is the rightful place for them. Now, moving on to the big grunts with the weapons. We're gonna put them in A. A lot of damage, crazy range. Unless you time it perfectly, you will be hit by the big grunt. Even when you're trying to get out of harm's way, jump over a ledge, it will hit you. Crazy range, these big grunts with the weapons they have. I cannot tell you how many trials have ended because of the big grunt. And I think at A is where it belongs. Moving on to the Berserker. We're going to put it in tier A as well. It is blind. It has chains. But boy, oh boy, can it hear. The first place we're introduced to the Berserker is in Kill the Snitch. When you are in the garage trying to power up the generator. If you make any slight noise, it will run into you. Crazy damage. Great design. Crazy execution as well. Tier A, it goes. To the last specialist, we will rank none other than the Jaeger. We're going to put S. It will track you down no matter where you are hiding. And if it gets a hold of you, you will die. Now, if it hits you, jumping over a ledge or through a window, right? It will cause 3 damage of HP. You can see it in the dark. You can hear it. So, I think overall, just because it's a one-hit KO, we're going to put it in S. That's where it belongs. The Jaeger, of course, when it makes its entrance out of the elevator, has a noise of death. And you are alerted right away. Moving on to the prime assets. We'll go first with Coil. We are going to go ahead and put him in A. He damages you with his electric baton. And when he does, he will disable your rig. I think it's 25 or 30 seconds if I'm not wrong. You're able to see him in the dark. Makes a lot of noise with his presence. But I don't think he's trial ending. Because of those reasons, a little bit easier to avoid rather than the other prime assets. Again, probably one of my favorites with his outfit, his dialogue. But tier A is where he belongs, guys. Mother Gooseberry. We're going to put her into tier S. When she damages you, right, you will bleed. Nothing is more frightening when you don't have a medicine or a band-aid on you. Otherwise, you will die. I think she's a prime asset that I've died most to because of this. Panicking frightfully as you're trying to search throughout the room and in the trial. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I like her as a prime asset, but she belongs in tier S. Franco Barbie. The man with the big old head that has a shotgun. I'm going to put him in A. Hits you across the map. As soon as he hears a noise, he does a 180, even if you're behind him. Takes like 2 to 3 seconds for him to reload. If you're too close to him, he'll hit you really hard. I think with the back end of his shotgun. Crazy annoying. Right, if you get hit too many times and even take that slight damage when you're super far away, it'll still pop up on your record, and that's the difference, right, between getting a regular letter grade to a plus to a minus and it dropping. I just don't think he's trial ending. Just very annoying. Very, very annoying. A is where he belongs. Now moving on to the twins. We are going to put A. Again, the bigger of the twin has a chainsaw, while the other on top, it's literally the eyes on the back of the head. It throws venom at you as soon as they hear noise. Takes a few seconds to go ahead and reload. If you do not have an antidote, right, you throw up and they come in for the chainsaw combo. I like them. Cool outfit, cool character, cool dialogue. I just don't think they're trial ending. Easy to hear and easy to spot in the dark. Think tier A. is a rifle placed forward. And so it leaves us with the last prime asset, Lilia, which is the latest one that we have been introduced to for the time being, until Red Barrels drops another prime asset on us. She is S. The spoil of the auction is the first place that we are introduced to her. Mannequins or replicas of her throughout the map, which makes it very hard to go ahead and spot her. Unless you have X-ray to go ahead and ping her and spot the rifle one, it is hard. She goes into hiding spots. She'll jump on you without a brick or a bottle. She will cause serious harm. And with her blade, as you're trying to run away, if she hits you, that's 3 HP that's dropped. Crazy character. I think one of the coolest ones with its most unique design and UI. Red Barrels did a great job on her. S. I think it's a great place. She will track you down in the light or in the dark and go to your area. And that's where she belongs. She's annoying as heck. But boy, does she do her job darn good. And now, that is all of the X-Pops. This is the tier list, the rifle grading. Put in the comments down below, guys, if you think I got it wrong, or perhaps an X-Pop should go into another tier list, whether it's a grunt, a specialist, or a prime asset. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, leave a comment, a like, share, and follow your boy Stevie Z, aka Nero, if you like the content. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys take care and you guys take it easy. Bye-bye, bye-bye, and bye-bye.